It's our second day here. Didn't really sleep very well. After we left the convoy yesterday, we ended up visiting an old council building where 33 families were shacked up in a cold building, no shower facilities. The children were really ill. They were excited to see us, but I could see the sadness in their eyes. It was difficult, and today, going over the border, it's going to be tough. I can feel it. It's going to be difficult because the situation compared to being in a building and a tent and rain and the elements is going to be difficult. Literally around the corner, just over the border, there's a very different atmosphere. Here, civilized, trees, you know, people are driving around, going off to work, doing all the normal things. And under an hour away from here, there's a war zone where people are literally struggling to survive. We've just got into Syria. We're about an hour or so from the border. There was intense fighting last Ramadan, and as you can see, the remnants of the regime. Just on the other side over there is the headquarters of the Secret Service at the time of the fighting, and behind us, alhamdulillah, our convoy of flour has arrived. So we're about to start the flour distribution to smaller vans and trucks so it can be dispersed into the various villages and refugee camps set up on this side of the border. The reality that we were in a war zone was clearly all around us. Now this is one of the drop-off points where the flour convoy has actually arrived. Now this is exactly where the flour is being offloaded into a storage space, and then moved into smaller trucks to be dispersed around the various villages and refugee camps in Syria. So let me see if I can try and grab one of these. It's not too bad. Get it up there. Now behind me are buildings that have been bombed over the last few months, and this is a relatively safe part of the neighborhood. After being there for only a few hours, it was becoming a little bit dangerous, so we had to leave. So we headed back to a refugee camp closer to the border of Turkey. This is one of the largest refugee camps on that border, and I was lost for words as to how people were surviving here. I met with Mona, one of the refugees, and asked her how she survives living in these conditions.
10 or 11 people live within this small tent. There is a shortage of food and water, and I don't have enough blankets or dresses. A shortage in everything.
Sophie basically and Sabah, they've left their homes because of the shooting and the military activity that was taking place around their area. 10, 11 people living in a tent, which really is only for 4 or 5 people, to be honest. Everybody's complaining about the lack of water, the lack of food, the lack of facilities. I can't honestly see any shower facilities here, so I don't know how they cope. I mean, last night when we went into the building, I thought that was tough. But these people are up against the elements, and it's difficult. And the kids, I really feel for them. I really feel for them. We've come to the end of our short journey, but it has been very intense and definitely eye-opening. There is definitely a lot more to be done, and all I can say is that we need to do more than just words. If I was to sum it up in a single sentence, I wasn't afraid of coming out. It has been an intense trip. Am I afraid of the future of Syria? No, inshallah it will be resolved, but I think I can sum it up and say I actually feel the pain. I really feel the pain. Yeah. I feel the pain. Last night, those families, that kid, particularly that kid, that really got to me. But yeah, if I was to sum it up, I feel their pain.